It's time for a Washington Fish Quest. This episode, my first Lake Whitefish through the ice. Hey Washington Fish Questers, Blake here, joining you from historic Moses Lake, albeit I guess this hotel parking lot at night might not be the most scenic spot. Well, tomorrow I'm meeting my buddies Dave and Brad for a little more fishing here. This is the second night of a 2-night trip, so real quick trip, but I just cannot get Banks Lake out of my head. Because it's my understanding the northern and the southern ends are frozen, and I'm seeing lots of videos myself of people catching Lake Whitefish, through the ice. I'm real bad at white fishing. They kind of own me, so I don't know how it's going to go, but I just gotta jet up there because the south side's about an hour outside of Moses Lake, and try my luck through the ice. I'm just going to give it about 90 minutes, because I got to get some sleep tonight so I can be up in the morning and hit the ice here. But let's see how I do. If I catch one Lake Whitefish, I will be thrilled. Alright, I am here, but a couple of complications have arisen. Primarily rain and snow. So on my drive up from Moses Lake, it was raining, and then right when I was outside of Cooley City, it started snowing pretty good. So I am here now. But I will not be here long. I won't even give it 90 minutes. If I get a fish, I'm out of here after I get it. And, failing that, I might just be here for 30 to 40 minutes. So I want to make sure that I creep back while the roads are still safe, Take a look at how crowded this parking lot is, though. I know you probably can't see that so good because it's so dark, but, geez, I bet there's 24 vehicles here. It's such a popular fishery. All right, I'm out on the lake now. I found a couple holes in the ground here. Not sure if it is the ones that Brad recommended or not, but I am going to go ahead and use them. Like I say, don't want to be here for too long. All right, that hole was definitely freshly abandoned. I bet whoever was on it maybe left an hour ago. And while I don't have a shelter, I do have Mr. Heater. Now my shrimp might be kind of comically large. I don't know. Like I say, I'm not great at catching these fish, but the one I did catch in the last time I went out for them and filmed it, they bit a piece of nightcrawler that was bigger than this, so I know they're not always so shy of things that are kind of large. Now these guys have such soft bites. I got my spring bobber, but I also got my finger on the line. I'm also just, line watching very intently. Alright, I got 3 things going against me this episode. 1, I don't know nothing about no lake white fishing. I know about as much about lake white fishing as shrimp know about whistling on the mountaintops. I just haven't keyed in on it ever. 2, I am not using electronics. You may have noticed that from the previous 2 episodes. That is because I forgot my power cord at home for my fish finder, so I am fishing blind. And 3, I did not come prepared to lake whitefish in general. So I have 2 poles on me. They both have 4-pound test, and my tackle box is my ice fishing box, which is walleye and perch gear primarily. So those are the things going against me. However, I do have a buddy in my corner, Brad Allen of Sage Step Carp Fishing on the Instagram. He and his buddy brined a bunch of salad shrimp. Some people call them deli shrimp, basically the little pink shrimp that come in a can. Just, dump some salt on them, and they make really good whitefish bait, so I probably wouldn't even be out here if he hadn't loaned me his jar, full of them, so just thanks a ton for that, Brad. And then the other thing is he gave me the coordinates, that I'm currently fishing, so that was also very helpful, especially since I don't have those electronics. Then the other thing I have going in my favor is I am fishing. You can't go wrong when you're doing that.
Howdy. Hello.
Doing any good?
Not very good.
Ah, that's too bad.
Not here. Here bite okay.
I haven't gotten a single bite here. It looks like this hole had some action in it earlier in the day, but it's not doing nothing for me now, so I keep having people walk by, headed out, and they're super friendly. They tell me to come join them over at the island, so I'm going to do that. Alright, I have moved over to Twining Island. I am in about 35 feet of water, be my guess. I also switched out my rig. In retrospect, the Swedish Pimple at dark was kind of silly. So now I'm just using a bait rig off the bottom. I did have enough to make that happen with the tackle I have on me. So I just got a sliding weight, a swivel. I just had to bite off a piece of my main line to use as the leader. And then I got a little hook off of that. I'm also using smaller pieces of the salad shrimp now, so I'm using about 1/3 of a salad shrimp on the hook instead of a full one. Brad also told me that chumming is okay here, so every now and again I will rip up a couple salad shrimp and just throw them down the hole, hopefully to kind of draw them in. God, you know, I keep getting nibbles, but I just cannot seem to hook up. If anybody has any advice on that, feel free to let me know, because it could be that I'm wondering if my hooks are too small. I've always heard use 8 to 10, but I don't know. Am I being too small on my hooks? The one I caught last time I was out here, I caught it on a bigger hook, like probably a size 6 or 7. So this isn't really coming through on the film, but unlike previous bites, my corky that I have at the surface as a strike indicator is just kind of vibrating, you know, like a fish is right on it. Fish on! You can barely hear it because the drag is actually well oiled, but you can hear it peeling. These fish, they fight so hard. It is, you know, if anybody wanted to argue that they're the hardest fighting freshwater fish in the state, I wouldn't argue back. It's just wild, especially after catching that walleye the other day. Just the difference. I mean, these things are just freight trains. Especially on 4-pound test. On 4-pound test, I gotta let them run. Alright, it's at the hole now, and I can tell it has just swallowed the bait. It's just wild how this one just totally dedicated to eating it. Hey, alright, my first lake whitefish through the ice. I am jazzed, you know. And it took a little longer than I wanted, but it's only been a little over 90 minutes.
Alright, it took a bit longer than I thought, but got the whitefish here. Yeah, as you can see, they're a pretty dang nice one. Yeah, the fighting these things is just so amazing. You know, they still kind of own me. I still haven't figured them out, but I also wasn't prepared to fish for them this trip. It just, I saw what was happening and just had to jump into the action. So, I do want to do a video where I actually do figure it out, and feel free to leave me any advice in the comments there. One of these days I'll get them whitefish good and proper. Until then, just one at a time. See you next time on Washington Fish Quest.